doing
you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
Four of us wolves running around the desert together in Las Vegas, looking for strippers and cocaine.
1, 2, 3, Benchwarmers!
Live from Scott's parents' basement, this is the Basement Benchwarmers Podcast.
Basement Benchwarmers Podcast back for another week for your listening pleasure. I think I say every week. Listening pleasure. It's like a moist experience.
Yeah. My ears are all wet.
So like we start off every week, let's start off real quick, get going. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's start off. How was everybody's week? Ed, how was your week?
Yeah, this
Oh, wait, Ed, I'm sorry. I need to say this. Just the way Scott treats you guys while doing the pre-show, it just can't go on any longer. I was right around the corner listening today, and it can't happen any longer. I even record. I just think it should be played. I just have to play it.
You know, this is tough for me. I had up here. Okay, I'm taking care of you guys. You guys are making me look bad. Okay, we haven't got over our listener number in weeks, and it's not because I'm great. You guys need to pick it up. Okay, I'm just here. You know, I wasn't named Podcaster of the Year by Face Radio Magazine 2 years in a row because of you guys. It was because of me. What are your credentials? What have you done? What have you guys done? You know, you sit here, Willie sits here, and I don't know what he does. Ed sits here in a flannel, and Eric isn't even here. Yeah, he's with his family. Oh, family. Drinking beer, talking about, what have you guys done? You need to tell me, because we're supposed to be a team here, but I feel like I'm on myself. Okay, I'm the best, and you guys are the problem. Okay, we need to figure this out. We really do. Okay, you guys need to pick it up, and by end of tonight's show, okay, I need to know what you guys have done. I need a list of what you guys have accomplished in podcasting. My list is huge. Okay, you guys need to pick it up. Okay, and tell me what you have done, or I'm looking for replacements. I got interviews set up already. I got two nice Italian guys from New York, Chris and Andrew, that want to get hired right now. Okay, I can hire them right now. I'm giving you guys a chance, one more chance. Okay, let's see how tonight goes. And you know what? We'll think about it. Okay, you know, Willie, wake up. I'm talking. Okay.
Wow, I can't believe we recorded that, Chase.
little sneak. Was that Donald Sterling's girlfriend over there? Recorded that whole thing.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you?
No, it wasn't me.
Holy God.
That was an imposter. He was with Chris and Andrew lined up, as you guys heard. Those Italian boys from New York.
I thought you were going to have those Nigerian guys from Chicago do it.
Anyway, how was your week?
Oh, my God. That thing was the best opening we've ever had. Well, I was out with the bench warmers. We were out looking for cocaine and strippers. We visited a couple establishments. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes.
Did not throw up this time at Starlight Club.
You did not, but they have a.
Yeah, remember me while we were waiting for Scott and me and Willie watched a rousing game of girls volleyball. Nebraska versus Texas. Nebraska kicked their ass.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was
another Big Ten team.
Oh yeah. I went home. My ears were all wet there too.
Well, so how was your week, Willie?
Well, like I said, let's see what I do. I made some cookies on Saturday. How you want to take Christmas cookies? How about that?
Jeez.
All did that, and then what else?
Shapes like Christmas tree. Ruby. Are you making them for gifts or just making them for yourself?
Making them for when we go up to Door County for
okay.
Christmas.
may have to get this officially. Take this to the justice of the peace pretty soon.
You think we might actually like each other?
I like you.
And Eric, how are you?
Oh, he wasn't.
Beer
ready.
is good.
I was not ready. I would have made a bicycle sound like he was on his.
Is Hispanics rubbing together?
No, he right.
So this week we're talking a little bit about the NFL as usual. The past week in the NFL, also the usual good, bad, and the ugly from this past week, and whatever else comes up in our.
I'm guessing you're going to bring up Urban Meyer, maybe.
Oh yeah. That was the beginning of the show. Was the Urban Meyer situation? I guess a rumor has it he was asking his coaches to explain what they've done since he has the resume and they don't. And I just think it's it's crazy, man. I don't it's the NFL, man. It doesn't matter if you're a college or NFL coach. You number one, didn't he hire the guys?
Yeah.
If he hired them, isn't his fault? Then you can't blame anybody but himself.
Well, there's nothing wrong with me. I hired all losers.
Yeah, I hired a bunch of losers. Maybe that's
More than I am, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Has to hire a bunch of dumb people so you're the smartest guy in the room. I don't know what his point was. That just sealed it. I think he's fired. There's no chance.
He's got a long contract too.
There's
so.
no way that guy's got to pay him and get him out of town. There's no way. If he's going around doing that to coaches and
what a mistake, though.
And the guys that he's probably doing this to. Probably, I'm saying some of his staff are a decent amount have to be
come over from Indian Trails last year.
Yeah, I'm just so they had to have a few guys. So I have no idea. Well, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know. I just think it's a lot of coaches have that mentality, but they don't say it. Let's put it that way.
Right.
A lot of NFL coaches have to be the smartest guy in the room. We always talk about it, but to explain you're the smartest guy in the room on a 2-win, and your team has got shut out twice this year, I think. Not when you're isn't he an offense guy, Urban Meyer? I can't remember what is his
yeah because he started out as a wide receiver coach at Utah, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because then he coached the offense with Alex Smith.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just weird. What do you guys think of that? It's just a weird situation.
Nuts. That you would treat anybody like that. Even talk to grown men like that. I'm surprised one of them didn't punch him in the face. I would have lit him up. I'm going to tell you, if he would have called me a loser in a room,
those coaches have more control.
They have more experience. Than
here's the thing: they all know they're losing their jobs, and I guess they're not making the money he is. But you think at this point, you know what? Screw you. If 10 of them walk out on him tomorrow, what happens?
Mm-hmm.
He ain't coaching that team by himself. He barely coaches it now, probably. And I was I thought it might have success. But I was way wrong on that. He's not built for this at all.
Jacksonville going to be just struggle again for years now?
I think they get the right guy there. The coach, they got the problem was Trevor Lawrence needs to have a coach. At least in most of the teams around, they had someone. Even in Chicago, Justin Fields at least had guys around that are NFL coaches and have been around. May not get the best development, but at least got a little bit of development somewhere. I don't think Trevor Lawrence has got any development this year at all. I really don't. I think he's behind. He's basically lost a year in this, but 1 year and the team wasn't going to win a Super Bowl 2 or 3 anyway, so they have time to make up.
The Bears are the same situation. Not that crap, no. But I'm saying they got a new possible franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
it's time to make a move now,
and that's what
build around him.
Oh, they have to. Yeah,
and
right.
if Urban Meyer, obviously, he won't even play.
Maybe Urban Meyer comes to Chicago.
Jesus Christ! I hope not.
No.
He's not even playing James Robinson the last 3 weeks. His star player
because he fumbled.
So he's putting in Carlos Hyde, a 61-year-old guy that fumbled.
That actually rubbed a lot of the players the wrong way in the locker room because this guy has been remember, James Robinson is also a guy who played the loyal soldier, and when they drafted Etienne, he's okay. He gets hurt. I'm going to be your running back again, and then he fumbles in a game and then he's going to get benched for a guy who didn't do any better yards per carry.
He fumbled as well,
and he fumbled as well. So it's weird.
They're talking about this, after Lawrence questioned Meyer on the sideline about Robinson's absence. There's Lawrence trying to.
Well, he is essentially our best offensive player right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Trevor Lawrence, it's
It's learning by he's learning how to be the how to talk to the media.
He's learning to be the man. Actually,
He has to learn
he's
how to just
young.
go. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, everything's good. We're fine. No, yeah. When you'll find out, and
Just like Mac Jones
you'll,
has.
you'll find out. Well, Mac Jones, not even the same situation though, because Mac Jones.
Well,
Mac
media,
Jones doesn't
yeah.
have a coaching
Oh,
staff that
yeah, I get what you're
is
saying.
sabotaging him basically
Uh-huh.
for his first
Yeah.
season. He's not.
And here's what happens there is if
His
any-
coaching staff is making him into a star. That's
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Belichick would step in any of these situations and take over.
Oh yeah.
He's the man there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence has got to be the man of the house, and he's like a 13-year-old boy, living alone almost.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Straightening his hair.
Yeah, he needs. He's barely can make a grilled cheese sandwich, and he's in charge of the franchise right now.
Let's go to our good, bad, and the ugly. What do you?
I can do Sports Minute first.
Okay, go ahead. It better be a minute.
It's not going to be a minute. You guys say that every week. And it's just going to get longer. So in the past week, the Denver Broncos and the NFL mourned the loss of Super Bowl 50 champion wide receiver Demaryius Thomas as he passed away in his sleep from a seizure at age 33 last week.
No, not in his sleep. He was in the shower,
Oh,
and I think he fell over.
Oh.
He wasn't sleeping. He was in the shower.
that's what all the stuff said.
Was
that
it
his family
Jimmy?
found him in the
Was
morning.
it Jimmy that
But
told
he-
you behind
they
the
found him in
dumpster?
the shower.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
So in
Was
the
it a
shower.
seizure or stroke or?
They
I
said
think he had a
seizures.
seizure,
He was
and
having,
I think he might have hit his head or something.
They
That's
were-
what I'm thinking.
That's what
happened.
happened.
his family said that he was having seizure problems. And
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
And sources report today that the Knicks and Lakers have entered trade talks on 76ers star Ben Simmons if his depression has gone away. And the Pelicans beat reporter says Zion Williamson, you remember that guy? He's been skipping rehab workouts and falling asleep during film sessions.
Need more China food.
He's a big boy now.
And Chicago Bulls now have a reported 10 COVID cases over the past 2 days. And as you said earlier, they're suspended for 2 games. The NBA shut them down.
Yeah, 2 games. They're gonna miss. Yep.
And Ravens
Or
head,
not miss. They're rescheduled.
yeah. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson has an sprain, not a high ankle sprain, and Jackson will be out there on Sunday. And there's a renewed optimism around the NBA that the Nets believe that Kyrie Irving may join back the team as him and Kevin Durant have increased communication over the past few weeks. 23-year-old Raiders running back Josh Jacobs has been accused of having 8 kids with 8 different women, and a 9th is on the way.
It's not really accused. I'm sure it's real.
Well, that's what everything said. So.
Yeah, okay.
And Myles Garrett breaks Brown's franchise record with 15 sacks this season. And yes, they still have 4 games left. And the NHL has joined the NBA, MLB, and MLS in allowing private equity ownerships. Among approved changes to ownership rules, $20 million deal minimum, no fund can own more than 5 teams, and no team can sell more than 30% of its equity. And Los
Is that
Angeles,
like Packer stock?
It's exactly what they're talking
Okay.
about.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and the Los Angeles Angels, Los Angeles Angels, Angel Stadium has been declared illegal by California State Housing Agency. Now, the city of Anaheim has 60 days to redo the deal or make the land available to interested bidders. And beginning January 5th, any NBA player who is not fully vaccinated will not be allowed to enter Canada to play games in Toronto. Canadian government will require all individuals entering Canada to be fully vaccinated.
What's fully vaccinated now? Is it going to be a booster now? Is it going to be the fully vaccinated?
That's goes into my thing that I
Because
said
they're
last
supposed
week.
to be going fully vaccinated. What is it? The January 6th or something?
Yeah.
Well, I know January 17th, which that's this week. If you're not fully vaccinated with a booster shot,
December
December
7th.
7th.
December 17th, all tier 1 team people, they're not fully vaccinated with a booster shot. They can't be in contact with any athletes or
Well-
go anywhere with them.
Well, we'll see what Toronto comes up with for that. If they're just saying 2 shots, or if they're saying a booster is fully.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start calling out a booster, that's fully vaccinated. Then
Yeah.
it's going to keep changing. The goalposts are going to keep moving on that. So
Yeah.
I guess we're all going to have to keep track.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What is it this week?
Yeah.
Last week also, Icon has come and gone as Staples Center is no longer, as the signage has been removed to make room for the new Crypto.com arena signage. And this was Thursday night. Wide receiver Justin Jefferson is a 3rd player in NFL history with 1,250 plus receiving yards in each of his first 2 seasons, joining Randy Moss and Odell Beckham Jr.
But he's first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had somebody else in mind I was going to bring up. I forgot now.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a few guys that just started off unbelievable and disappeared so fast.
Yeah.
And you wonder if Lamar Jackson's on that path now.
Yeah.
There's just so many injuries on that team.
I know.
That's the biggest problem there. I mean,
and he's beat up too, but yeah.
Well, everybody's beat up, like we were saying
no
yesterday.
more than the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, well, the Giants too. They're pretty bad, but beat up.
Nice.
Okay, so let's do the good, bad, and the ugly. Let's move to that.
Oh yeah, that's what we were doing.
So ugly. Let's start with the ugly. I'll start with the ugly first, and we talked about them for a while. I'm just going to say the ugly. My ugly is the Jaguars organization as a whole. Just ugly from. I'm not even talking about team, just the front office and everything. Just a mess, and the owner. I think the owner. That's another team that I think he's using to sell. He's not a sports franchise owner. I mean, I think he tried to do the shock the world type thing. Shock, get it? That's his name, right? Shock something.
No shit.
Shat.
Oh, now you got me doing it.
No, shock something.
Khan.
Shaka Khan.
Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. Let me rock ya.
I actually had that album.
But I just think it's a mess. So
Shad Khan, right?
Shad Khan, yeah, not Shaka. So,
Shahada Khan.
Okay. So anyway, Ed, what's your ugly?
It's the same thing. I just their game the other day, and who they play Titans, I believe.
Oh yeah, shut up.
0 points, 8 rushing yards, and their top running back they're not even playing. So it's just sickening. I mean, they should have relegated. Put down in college. Bring up Alabama.
Bring Richmond.
I don't know.
Willie.
I'm going with ugly, but you know how some things you say bad, but it's really good. I'll say Justin Herbert's the 50-yard pass to Guyton was just ugly, right on the dime there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so good.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like sick.
Yes. I'm just
Really trying to be hip with the kids.
I know.
Jake, you got an
trying to
ugly?
draw another demographic.
You got an ugly?
Yeah, NFL refereeing from last night in the Bears game. Just it's gonna come down to it again, but it's always gonna be refereeing for me just from watching that game last night. Just
You said that. I said like 3 weeks in a row.
I still can't figure out the deflected ball off the. They can't advance the.
I don't understand that rule on onside kick.
There were 2 times where they would have advanced the ball with nobody even around them.
Well, and that punt, that was a terrible call.
The punt you can advance. It's a muff. That's always been the rule.
Well, I don't care. They get the ball back in the red zone.
So
refereeing.
How about a bad, Ed?
My bad. I turned on the TV yesterday to start watching football because I was taking half the day off there. And as I turned it on, the Raiders are dancing on the KC logo. And the next play after they get the kickoff, Jacobs fumbles, they pick it up, return it for a touchdown. And that was like the highlight of the game for them because then they muffed a kick then at the 11. And then it just was a disaster all the way. And Kansas City just stomped a mud hole in them.
Yeah.
Because remember last year after the Raiders beat them, Kansas City, Gruden did a victory lap around the stadium, drove around it.
In Kansas City?
Kansas City, just as kind of like a victory lap.
Yeah,
that seems like something Henry Ruggs would do.
Oh, my God.
It's not even funny.
That kid's horrible.
It's not even funny.
Hey, that's sophomoric.
Yeah, I mean, it's you. And one of the announcers, I don't even know who it was in that game because I don't watch CBS that often. He was like, I don't see what the big deal is. These guys get over. But it is kind of, like making fun of you. And it's the same thing in baseball. Or why would you try to just intentionally piss somebody off?
Poke
like
the
that?
bear.
Yeah. And it goes back to Rodgers did the same thing with the Bears. I mean, he was pissed off. He gets in the end zone.
A few years ago, and was it Michigan tearing up the M? Right, Willie? Michigan was tearing up when they were playing at the Spartans. They were out there tearing it up in the pregame.
Yeah, yep, you're right.
Yeah. Because it's first of all,
bad. Would you say bad yet? Oh, you said bad.
No, I didn't say it bad.
Oh, you didn't say bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump on somebody's back here. What they said with the onside rule kick, or the rule for the onside kick.
Yeah.
I mean, they can. They made it so hard to do. I know.
It's like the best on kick I've ever seen.
He planned it any better.
My bad is Lamar Jackson. That offense has not looked good in the last 4 or 5 weeks. I know they got banged up, but they still have pieces, and he is the quarterback of the team, and that's unusually. And he was an MVP a couple years back. So I mean, they just don't look right now at all. And now him being injured at his ankle, it's really gonna hurt him because he relies on running a lot, kind of like the Kyler Murray thing last year when he got injured. He was banged up his ankle. He didn't look as good. So, I mean. And it's not all his game, but I think Lamar Jackson is pretty much, if he can't run, he's not a good quarterback. Where Kyler Murray can throw the ball a little bit. I mean, I just think Lamar Jackson. I'm not pick. It's just I just don't like how their offense looks right now. And they don't look like a playoff team right now at all. They don't look one bit of a playoff team at all right now. I mean, they almost came back last week, but yesterday. But that's Cleveland kind of let them hang around, and that's Cleveland's fault. But I just think Lamar Jackson.
We've seen this over the years, though, is the running quarterback, which the NFL's adapted now. Coaches, they used to take a running quarterback and then try and make him a pocket passer. And now there's been adjustments, and they're like, this is the shit, you know, running quarterback. But the downside to that is they're going to get beat quarterback, low average.
I know he was an MVP and went to a Super Bowl, but Cam Newton.
That's what I was going to say. He's almost on that same
take
trajectory.
away that one spurt. He could be. I could put Cam Newton in the same Odell Beckham breath we were talking about a minute ago. He had those 2 years and he was great and got to a Super Bowl and faced a defense that figured out throw the ball, throw it. Right. Denver said throw it, and he couldn't throw it.
Yeah.
So
to me, it seems like he's kind of on that trajectory right now. So it's
Lamar Jackson. We'll see.
It's a little scary for these teams because you invested. That's your team.
Yeah.
Beats the whole team. And if he doesn't have his speed, that's it.
Yeah, with the ankle thing too. I mean, would you be better off just letting the other kid play that actually threw the ball pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, he did.
In relief. So the good. We'll finish with the good as we always do. Good. Ed.
George Kittle now, last 2 weeks, 80 combined fantasy points in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
You know, that's just I don't even know how many. I think it was like 330 yards receiving and 22 catches and 3 touchdowns. He's killing it since he come back.
Yeah. Jace, good? Any good?
After Houston in the Alabama game, a lot of Houston players were frustrated as I'm not sure how the game ended. Houston, Alabama, basketball.
Listen to this.
I'm not sure how it ended. Whatever. Kicking stuff, knocking stuff over. Shout out to Jamal Shad or Sheed for picking up the trash that everybody kicked over from the 2 garbage cans that got kicked over and the chair that they broke. So shout out to him for staying back and picking up the garbage.
That's a good then.
Yeah, I didn't even see it yet, but I was actually at the paint store this morning, and one of the guys that works there, my paint rep, is really good friends with the coach of Alabama. I don't even know his name.
I don't know off the top of my head.
He was at Buffalo a couple years ago, and
we're talking football.
No, this is for basketball.
Or basketball. I'm sorry, basketball.
Yeah, and I can't think of his name now. But he was just telling me this just today, and he said he went out to center court, and Sampson's the coach of Houston. Kelvin Sampson, and he wouldn't come out and shake his hand. He was yelling at the refs and everything. And in the video was just showing the local guy from around here just standing to shake his hand, kicking over canned and. Nate. I think he's from the Menominee Falls area, if that sounds right.
Okay. Willie.
Yes, I'm going to go with the Army Navy game. not the greatest of games played, but it's been long standing since 1930. They've been playing regularly. The first game they had was back in 1890. Yeah, I remember that game very well. Navy won 24-0.
His house back then.
Very tall.
The Rotary. Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah. So I got two goods. One's quick. You brought him up a minute ago. It was a great throw yesterday. Justin Herbert, first quarterback in NFL history to throw 30 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. Okay. But my other good, and we talked about this yesterday a little bit, is my great is the play of, I think he's going to be rookie of the year and defensive MVP. I think Micah Parsons is playing off the charts. 12.5 sacks, 17 tackles for loss, 75 total tackles. When I say 75 tackles, people are like, that's not a lot of tackles. Guys are at 100 or 110. He doesn't play linebacker. He plays both. He goes back and forth. He also has 3 forced fumbles. He is 6 away from the record with Kendrell Bell set for 23 tackles for loss. Right now, he is at this point in this season, of his snaps he's taken, he creates pressure 21% of the time. Jesus. When he goes after the quarterback on rushes. Nick Bosa's in 19 was 16%. His brother Joey in 2016 was 16%. Von Miller was 14 in 2011. Aaron Donald was 9.6 in 2014, and J.J. Watt was 8.6 in 11. And I believe Watt and Donald, wasn't Donald. Watt was an MVP season. Donald didn't win MVP in 2014. But those are all MVP players, caliber players, and he's only had 255 chances at it, but he's had 55 pressures on 255 times. That's pretty incredible.
You got to remember Watt and Donald both get double cup. Back in those days, they were double teamed almost in every one of those plays.
Yeah.
But
when you're playing a hybrid,
he's playing like a flex.
He gets all over the field. I think he may be the MVP. I don't think. The rookie sack record is held by Javon Curse, 14.5. So he's only 2.5 away from that, which is very possible with the extended season.
And Dallas has got the guy getting all the picks too.
Randy Gregory just came back a few weeks ago.
Diggs.
And then Gregory just come back.
And Randy Gregory just came back, which you can see it's going to help out a lot too. It's going to help Micah Parsons a lot, which he already was doing well without him.
Yeah.
That defense with Diggs on the back end and Parsons on the front end, they actually did a good job. And if they get another piece thrown in that defense, like a free agent or something, that defense is going to be a top 10 defense probably. When that offense can keep playing well in the next couple of years, they're gonna have a chance to be pretty
well. They're not a great defense, but they've got a bunch of great playmakers.
They've improved a ton from. They were so bad.
Yeah.
Well, and last year was a lot without having your quarterback. Your team was put in bad positions a lot anyway. But whatever.
Did you just see that?
Yeah.
So Odell Beckham took the ball away from one of his players, like Claypool. One of his players did too, kind of
for a touchdown.
Yeah, we got to talk about Mr. Claypool. Yeah, we'll talk about him real quick right now. Chase Claypool last Thursday night in a 36-28 loss to the Vikings. The Steelers made a great comeback in that game. I think they were down 27-3 in the fourth quarter or something like that.
I believe it was nothing.
Whatever.
They
were down by a lot. Yeah. And came back and made a game of it. And with 34 seconds left in the game, Claypool gets a first down with no timeouts left and decides to do the on the knee, I got a first down pose, wasting about 3-4 seconds doing it. As he's doing it, one of his teammates grabs the ball, lineman grabs the ball from him to take it, and the ball gets fumbled and rolls away. And I think at the same time, a Viking might have gave it a little push or whatever, and they were arguing that should have been a penalty on the Vikings for doing that. Well, number one, if he runs it back to the 99% of players you see will run back to that ref themselves. But then as they spike the ball finally, Claypool decides to start screaming at the lineman for doing that. and people are going to think he was yelling at him because he made the ball roll away. I firmly believe he yelled at him because he showed him up. That's what he was yelling at.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't yelling at him, but nothing else. Also, earlier in the game, Claypool got a 15-yard penalty for poking someone in the face mask after a 20-yard first down completion. So Chase Claypool is going from a up-and-coming receiver to a guy that is not good enough to take the hassle. Probably that's the problem.
It's like Juju Smith-Schuster, kind of.
Schuster's a good teammate, good player. I like Schuster. He just injured all the time. That's his problem. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a bad. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just stuff these guys doing. Then after the game, interesting. Roethlisberger was asked about, and Roethlisberger kind of said, "Hey, that's Coach Tomlin's job, not mine." So, is there like underlying, this team's been going this way for a while, with, antics, and it's being allowed, stuff to worry about. So you can look at it. I firmly believe that, because here's the deal.
Ben Roethlisberger is a friend of the show. You should call him.
I should.
He's staying in his lane is what he's doing.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I understand, but he did get benched in that game. Claypool did get benched for a while in that game, but they didn't come back after the penalty. So Tomlin knows what's going on, and whether they got their first down in the fourth quarter without him in the game, they might not have been in a situation without him in the game. So I don't know. So whatever. So
with all this evidence, I kind of think he's an idiot. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
he's not gonna learn his lesson. He still thinks it's all about him.
Is he the guy from Canada, Mapletron? Is that the one?
Yeah. He's from Canada. Yeah. He's Canadian.
Well, that explains a lot there.
Adair.
He sounds like a
Hey,
hoser.
you know what? He may could play. Maybe be playing for the Grey Cup next year. He keeps it up.
Like, there was a kid from Stevens Point who was on that.
Yes. Yeah.
Saw that Heggs. Give him a shout.
Yeah. Heggs. Or knows him through parents or family.
He's a guy in Stevens Point from where doing what? Some good athletes come out of Stevens Point. Actually, there's been a few. I mean, Jimmerman come out of there, and Terry Porter.
Oh yeah, Terry Porter. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
I mean, for a small college, I mean, they've had some pretty big guys.
They have a really good hockey team there too. I guess they won some D3 championships.
Okay. Yeah, and that was without Joey Pavelski. He went straight to the NHL.
Yeah, he would have played there, right?
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't think he was smart enough to get into a regular school. He would have been painting for me too.
So let's we discussed the COVID problem going with the Bulls, and I think Jace brought it up in the Sports Minute. What you got? Some history.
I do.
Sports history, Ed?
This day is sports history.
Okay.
So in 1969, this is it was.
There's more.
It was one.
Was it.
It was this manager's first firing of many.
Billy Martin.
That's right. He fired from which team in 1960?
The A's.
Nope.
Yankees.
Nope.
Oh, the Twins, really?
Twins,
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
No, 14 University Evansville basketball player died in a plane crash. I remember that on the Evansville Purple is. In
Plane crash.
62.
Nope.
No, if I did it right, I would have like, what?
180. You were close to the first one. 186 to 184.
Holy cow!
So and then
how many Dan Ice score in that game?
Thomas had 47.7 assists, bounds, and 4 steals. John Long had 41 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. Key Vandeweghe had scored a game high 51 points with 9 rebounds and 8 dimes.
A guy named Kiki.
And Alex English, 47 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. In total,